Welcome back to the Shadows of Brimstone and the Caverns of Cinder / Hellfire Succubi missions. The heroes have left the caverns after defeating the nightmares. They need to go back to town. They need to buy some stuff, though the marshal and the saloon girl are pretty good. The lawman is about out of stuff. And that dynamite worked really good last time, so we were pretty happy with that. So first things first is what kind of town, or how big a town? Oh, it's a small town. So let me get the small town map. Alright, so they are going to a small town, and first thing to do is see if they had any travel hazards. So first will be the saloon girl. It's a 6, so she does not. The U.S. Marshal does not. The Bandito, he does have a travel hazard. And the Lawman does not. So just the Bandito has a travel hazard. That's pretty unusual. So let's pull up the travel hazard chart. And now we will roll... Oops. Red is the 10's place, white is the 1's place, and it is a 33. Harried by hellbats. As the heroes move through the countryside, dark swarms of hellbats follow overhead, swooping down to terrorize them as they go. I guess they followed them out of the caverns. Each hero rolls a d6 for every dark stone they are carrying. On a roll of a 1, that dark stone shard or item is snatched away by hellbats and carried off into the night. So, Saloon Girl, she has 2 dark stone. Oh, and she loses 1. Let's see, the Bandito is carrying 1 dark stone, and he loses it. And I think that is it. Alright, I don't think I have any dark stones attached to any items, but I will double check that real quick. Oh, nope, I do. I have a Mark of the Void. I have 1 dark stone item. So, Saloon Girl, she does not lose it. Now we have to figure out what kind of town we are going to. Alright, so what kind of town? 7. As always, a standard frontier town. Alright, so now let's figure out what we have. What kind of stores and stuff. Other than buying some more dynamite and trying to get rid of some corruption, there's not a lot that we're going to be doing. I have all my stuff in my fancy Ziploc bags. Alright, so we're going to have, we only get 4 locations. So we have a street market, the gambling hall, the smuggler's den, and the blacksmith. And town events. And at one point in the last adventure, we drew the Wild West, a darkness card that at the start of the next town stay, roll once on the town event chart before the first day begins. Alright, Alright, so on 2, we have to start with a town event. A 10. The end is nigh. The people are stocking up on supplies and weapons, feeling like the next big attack could come at any time. All prices in town are up $50 due to increased demand. Darn, darn, darn. Okay, so we are staying at the hotel. Let me get a sheet of paper so I can start writing stuff down. So each have paid their $10, and now we got to figure out where they're going to go. Now the first thing is there anything that can get rid of madness? I mean, of corruption? Probably not, it looks like. Alright, we got all the wrong things. We needed a church or something. Okay, so what we're going to do is, well, the saloon girl has 1 dark stone she can sell. I think to do that she's going to have to go to, I guess the street market's the only place that she'll be able to do that. So she's going to go to the street market. Alright. Where can he get bandages? This is actually, we can't really even buy the stuff we need. Alright. Bandito's going to the gambling hall because he needs some whiskey. Oh, actually, no. Changed my mind. He's going to the smuggler's den because he can get rid of his Ooh, the back alley dock is not, no. He'll go to the, we're not going to mess with the back alley dock. He can just continue to lose his 1 point of movement for his injury. Does anybody sell, doesn't look like anybody sells dynamite in this town. Well, this town really stinks. Can't buy any bandages. I can't buy any healing anywhere. Oh, but you know what? Okay, when it's her turn, I have to remember. Does anybody sell tequila? Okay, they do sell some tequila at the smuggler's den. So Lawman's going to the smuggler's den, and that's all we're going to do, I guess. And the marshal's not going to do anything. So first thing, the town daily event. No effect. I'm good with that since we already had one. Now the saloon girl is at the street market. Let's see what happens with her. 5. Market prices up. The winds aren't good for bartering in the market. Prices are high and nobody wants to budge. All prices are plus 50. So that means everything's plus 100. And I forgot. Oh, well, she's going to sell her 1 dark stone. Yay. For, well, 120, I think. Is that... yeah, dark stone for P times 20. So she sold her 1 dark stone for 120. she is going to actually use her exotic herbs to heal D3 corruption. 2 corruption, so she's down to 1. That's manageable. And then she's going to buy some exotic herbs here at the street market. Or no, she's not, because they don't sell them at, oh no, that's the gambling hall. They're normally 200, which means they're actually going to be 300. So she is got 120, but so she is down another 180. So she is total down 190 this visit so far. And that's her turn. All right. Now at the gambling hall, 7. Laughter and cheers, smoke fills the air, and the cheering thrill of winners roar through the hall, while the empty despair of the drunk and down on their luck lingers in the shadows. Nothing. No event. And then Smuggler's Den event, which I probably should have done all of this before, is a 6. 6 to 8. Drunken debauchery and veiled threats. The scruffy, smelly, and downright vile scum that reside here barely notice your arrival amongst the revelry. Probably for the best. No event. Alright. So, the Bandito, who is over at the gambling hall, he wants to buy a whiskey. Golly, that's going to cost him $150 for a whiskey. Or, no, they don't have tequila here. Yeah, so $150 for a whiskey. So he's spent $160 on this visit so far. And does he want to do any fun stuff there at the gambling hall? What is his luck? His luck is only 2. No, he's not going to do anything. We just want to get out of here and get on with our mission. And then the lawman, who is over at the Smuggler's Den. Money is really not an option for them, but he's going to buy a tequila. That's going to cost him $225. And that is going to end their turn. They're all going to meet back here at the hotel. We're going to see... No, nothing happens. This is a small town, but the heroes have noticed that a wave of greed and violence has swept through this little small town as the miners and townspeople attack one another over any object of value or even the smallest amount of gold or darkstone. It's like they've been gripped by a madness of gold fever. It can be no coincidence that this town also has thick and twisting roots erupting from the ground, running through the streets and winding their way into every building and stable. The local preacher stands in the streets, spouting off verse and telling of his visions of a sinister Argus tree that has spread its seeds of evil from the fiery depths. It does this to prey on the sins of man. In desperation, the preacher implores you for help. There is a gate that leads to the root of this evil, down in the mines. I have seen it in my visions. Handing you a sacred potion, he pleads, take this, destroy the Argus tree before there is no town left to save. Alright, so this mission uses standard setup, and all the heroes start on the normal mine entrance tile. The heroes must find a gate that leads to the Caverns of Cinder, and then find 2 clues in that world to discover the location of the insidious Argus tree and destroy it. Special rules: it is a Hellfire Succubi adventure. All gates lead to Cinder. Mine clues add a gate. Any clue icon the heroes find in the mines automatically has a gate in that room. Golden Riches. Anytime the hero posse marker moves onto a blood spatter or a growing dread space on the depth track, each hero may immediately draw up to D3 loot cards, and these loot cards do not grant any experience. During this adventure, after any loot card is drawn and resolved, place that card off to the side until the loot deck is empty, then reshuffle it. In this way, every loot card has to be drawn first. Okay. Uh-oh. Anytime a loot card is drawn during this adventure, that hero also takes a corruption hit. Oh man. Alright, so the objective. When the heroes find the second clue icon in the Caverns of Cinder, they have reached the objective and found the Argus tree. Ignore any attacks or encounters. Also ignore any doors or gates. Reveal all growing dread cards. And then you must face the common enemies Hellfire Succubi as listed on the adventure card, as well as an additional threat card. For this additional threat card, do not roll to see if it is a common enemy's. It is always drawn from the Otherworld threat deck as normal. Okay, during the final fight, at the base of the massive Argus tree, every enemy gains +1 damage on their attacks for each corruption point the target hero currently has, as well as +1 combat for each mutation the target hero currently has. Once all the enemies are defeated, they destroy the Argus tree and the mission is over. Each hero gains 2d6 times $50. And if we fail, every hero immediately gains the Hallucinations Madness. A hero that already has that gets the Delusions Madness. Okay, and then one last thing before they take off to do this, I forgot there were some items that they wanted to sell and trade around. We have the horrific statue that comes out of the mine. It says you can break this statue to cancel every darkness card currently in play. I will never ever remember to do that, so the marshal is just going to sell that and it can go back into the mine artifacts deck. The saloon girl, she got the hell sword. She is not going to use a sword where you take 3 corruption hits to do +1 damage. That's another mine artifact, so she will sell that for $550, not that she needs any more gold. She's got like 4,000 gold. And then the lawman is giving his authority of Otar to the bandito, because the bandito needs something to add damage to his attacks. And it's fun to have a bandit with the keyword law. And he's going to keep his Tredaran Breath Mask. And then the other thing is the lawman is also going to sell his pistol for 100. That's just a regular old gear card. Alright, so I'm going to let me set this up, and we are going to head back into Cinder. Okay, so I've got the mine all set up. I got the exploration tokens here. Let me put them in order. Well, I guess I'm actually drawing them in reverse order, but then we are getting ready to go. I have pulled out the tile-specific encounters. I'm playing it with the tile-specific encounters, but I'm not doing the tile-specific encounter +1 because I already have the opportunity to get additional encounters because of the Hellfire Succubi adventure. So during a Hellfire Succubi adventure, Hellfire encounters, so whenever you draw one or more encounters, roll a d6 on a 1, 2, or 3, you also draw a Hellfire encounter. Then the common enemies rule is that whenever a threat card would be drawn, roll on a d6 on a 1, 2, or 3, you are attacked by Hellfire Succubi, and if it's on a 1, you also get a Hellfire Witch. And then whenever Hellfire Succubi are encountered, you roll on a d6, and on a 1, 2, or 3, they get a trait. So that's the additional rules to this one. I will try and remember all the other rules. I missed a few in the last adventure, but that's just part of playing this game. I think you end up washing. It ends up a wash most times. Between what you forget that helps you and what you forget that hurts you. Like the saloon girl, I never remember her +5 experience points whenever she passes a test, a trait test. So that sort of thing. So first thing we have to do, of course, is to see if we can hold back the darkness. And we do. And we're going to let the saloon girl go first. And she goes 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that kind of... Okay, now we will let the marshal go. He goes 5. And next we'll let the lawman go. It's a 5, plus he gets an additional... At a minimum, I know he's plus 2, so that's 5 plus 7, and he's got additional, I think, up to his agility, but I'll go look that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he is going to look through the door, and we get a reinforced room. I'll do that in a second. Now the bandito, 6. Okay, so we will look through the door to the reinforced room. Posse marker moves 1. We get an exploration token. That is the end of the turn, so the exploration token is a clue. And an encounter times 2. And these are just straight encounters. Now let's roll and see if we end up with a third. We do not. So 2 encounters. Flickering Lantern. All heroes are subject to voices in the dark during the next turn. And then we have the dark below. The darkness grows stronger here. You can feel it in the air. Okay, so draw a darkness card. Wanted Man. All outlaw enemies are plus 2 health and plus 1 damage with their attacks. All enemies on the next threat card drawn gain the keyword outlaw. Okay, well, that's going to be interesting. But it is a clue, so because it is a clue, that means that we've already found a gate, which is kind of nice. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's straight ahead. So I'm going to do the lawman first. He is plus 2 to his moves. 1, so he gets a grit, but he only gets to move 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to let the marshal go. 6, he gets a grit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is all the way at the end. Now we'll let the saloon girl go. 3. 1, 2, 3. And the bandito, he gets a grit, but he can only move 1 because he still has that broken leg. Alright, let's hold back the darkness. Oh, I think I forgot. I forgot to hold back the darkness this last turn, so let's hold back the darkness, and we get double 5s. That's bad. Terrifying Shriek. A shriek of pain and suffering echoes through the mind, chilling you to the bone. Each hero in the mines immediately takes D6 horror hits. Alright, so start with the marshal. Well, let's get that. Start with the marshal. He takes 4 horror hits. And he saves them all. Lawman takes 1. He fails, but his spirit armor also fails, so he takes a sanity. Saloon Girl takes 5. Egad. So can she save them? She saves 2, so she takes 3 sanity damage. And the bandito, he also takes 5. And he takes 2 sanity damage. So that was for the last go round. Now we have to do this turn's hold back the darkness. So they're all having to do their horror in the darkness encounter. So we're going to have to go right through all of that again. So because the voice is in the dark because of that card. So the U.S. Marshal, 3. So he takes 2 sanity. The Lawman, he takes 2. Saves 1. So does not spirit armor save it, so he does take another one. Saloon Girl, 6. Ooh, and she does bad. She takes 4 more. Now she does have 23 sanity, so it's not critical at this point. And now the Bandito. He takes 5. And what is his save? Is a 5, so he takes 2 more. And now, can we hold back the darkness for this turn? We do. So I'm going to start with the Bandito. He moves 2 more. Next, the Saloon Girl. So she can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does she look through the door? I don't think so. I think we've got to get... Well, no, she'll go ahead and look through the door. She'll take her 5 experience. And... we'll have to reset Cinder at that point. Alright, so let's do the Lawman. So he can move. He's right here. Alright, so now I've got to set up Cinder. I will be right back. Okay, so I've set up the map deck, set up everything else. So the room that they find is the Icon Platform. And it comes with its own encounter. So the Icon Platform gets an exploration token. And I think that's it. So, we got the first clue. And a gate, which doesn't matter. All gates go to Cinder, so the door will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So straight ahead. We have an encounter with just these 2 there. But first we need to see there is not an additional encounter. So we will pull, it is the Icon Platform, so the sign of the Shadow King is a sinister icon is etched into the stone floor while carved channels carry magma to and from the burning glory of Belial. At the start of each turn, while there is at least 1 hero on this map tile, you pick someone to do a lore 5 test. If successful, 1 random hero recovers a grit. If failed, immediately place a Hellfire marker on each lava space printed on the map tile. Ignore new lava spaces. Each of these markers then bounces twice in a random direction, just like dynamite. Hellfire markers do 1 hit with 2d6 damage to any model in the space they finally land on. Oh, okay. So at the start of each turn, do a lore 5 test. Okay, so first things first. Hold back the darkness 7, we do. I do need to move this. And because of the lawman's, every time the posse marker moves, everybody gets to heal 1. So now it's the start of the move. We do technically, they are half in one of those spaces. So who has the best lore? Oh, clearly the saloon girl, who has a lore of 6. So it is a lore 5 test. And she passes. So one random hero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. So the marshal gets a grit. So now we'll move. The marshal will move first. He can move 5. So he's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go around these. Alright, so that's... Now let's let the saloon girl go. She gets a grit but can only move 2. 1, 2. Now we will let the lawman go. He moves 2, so 3. 1, 2, 3. And let's let the bandito go. 3. 1, 2, 3. He's not far enough away for Whispers in the Darkness yet. You are just going to be sitting here. So nothing much going on this turn, except I have to remember, and this is the one I always forget, was the take a hit for each piece of clothing. So that will be the lawman has his chaps, which is clothing. He's not wearing his bandana right now because he doesn't need it. So he'll take 1 starting this turn. The bandito, it doesn't happen yet. He will take 1. Yeah, he just takes 1 for his mask. The marshal, 1, 2. The marshal takes 2 for his boots and his coat, trench coat. And the saloon girl takes 1 for her weathered poncho. And I forgot, when she rolls a 1 to move, she actually takes 2 sanity, so she's done that twice. So she takes 4 more sanity damage because of her slug thing that lives inside her, but gives her +2 lore. Alright, so now time once again to hold back the darkness. And we do not. Alright, so that moves it to a blood spatter, which means that the bandito, he can roll, and on a 5+, he 3+, he moves it back. And he doesn't. And we'll pull a darkness card. Uh-oh. Temptations of Evil, Darkness and Insanity. Whenever the darkness moves 1 or more spaces forward on the depth track, every hero takes a corruption hit, or 2 corruption hits if they are holy. I think that is going to be one where I am going to use once per adventure with my Book of the Occult. I can, well, no, that prevents the darkness from moving on the depth track. Uh-oh. Do I have something that will cancel a darkness card? I may be in trouble. Alright, the Tome of Vantaro. with the U.S. Marshal. Once per adventure, cancel a darkness card. And we are going to cancel that darkness card. That was a nasty one. And it was early in the game. Alright, so I've used that up. And now let's let the Bandito move. Nope, it's the start of a turn, so now we have to do the lore test, and then I'll let the Bandito move. Alright, we pass a random 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. Alright, the Marshal is now at his max grit. Now we'll let the Bandito move. He moves 6, finally. 1, 2 brings him here. 3, ooh. Oh, man. Do I... Nope, he's just going to stop right there. But he gets a grit for rolling a 6. Now we'll let the Lawman move. 5. 1. Oh. So he takes a burning marker. Two, 3, 4. And he takes a hit for his piece of clothing. He saves it. Saloon Girl goes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. And she will look through the door. And she finds a lava bridge. It goes this way. She gets 5 experience. And we get an exploration token. And she has to save against a hit. Oh, so she takes a wound because of her clothes. And the Marshal started here. He saves both of his. And the Bandito did not start on that tile. But we're still stuck with the next turn. We're going to have to do that lore test thing again. So an interesting thought. So if you have a darkness card that remains in play but you go to a new world, does it stay in play? I guess so. It doesn't say it doesn't. Alright, so exploration token. Ooh, it's an attack. Alright, so first things first. Is it... it is not Hellfire Succubi. They are 4, so they are a medium threat. And it is a Hellfire Succubi. P's dice worth. 4 Hellfire Succubi. Let me get them out. And it will be our first time to fight them this adventure.